love yourself, keep moving forward, enjoy life, indulge. These are the things a certain hired mercenary turned cat was never able to hold on to, and...
What? Dude, you can't just start a video out with that bombshell of a sentence. Seriously, what did you just say?
Oh my god. It's called a hook.
Alright. If you're not gonna explain it from the beginning, just scrap this video. Wasn't this whole thing supposed to be for me, anyway? How am I supposed to know what's going on if you don't explain anything properly? That's like dropping me in the middle of Attack on Titan and expecting me to know who Bushwald is.
Wait, I'm watching Attack on Titan right now. Who is Bushwald?
Oh my god, dude. Dude, that's John's horse! How do you not know that?
John, how do you know that? Okay, we're getting off topic. You promise you'll watch Gintama if this intrigues you, right?
Yeah, of course. I'm a man of principle, after all.
Oh my god, man of principle, what a joke.
Oh my god, who cares? What are you waiting for? Just run that intro!
That's my line. Okay, just do the thing.
You sure? You don't want to say it too? You have time.
Yes!
Alright, click.
So if the world's not on your side,
Wait, can I say it?
Oh, come on! No! We only have 8 minutes and 44 seconds left of this review! We don't have time to be tunneling!
world's not on your side. I want to waste the sunlight, I want to waste the pain. And if we're all against the tide, I'll try to make it alright. I'll try to make a change until the end.
While on an odd job, the Yodozuya trio were searching for a cat that's been terrorizing the citizens of this Japanese town, codename Hoichi, the big boss of all the strays. Gintoki was then transformed into a stray himself with the newfound ability to converse with felines, but the disability of becoming unable to speak with humans. After a duel with Hoichi, Gin escaped through some bushes where he met another human-turned-cat in Zura, and oh my god, look how cute he is, I just want to smoosh his little face. And a Kondo-turned-gorilla. Why? That's a story for only Kondo to know, I suppose. I feel like my biggest gripe with this arc is Kondo. He could very well have never returned after swinging away into the forest to embrace his inner gorilla, and the arc wouldn't have changed much at all. A lot of the comedy revolving around him is just, haha look, he's a gorilla, isn't that funny? With that being said, our unlikely trio would later ally themselves with the stray king Hoichi, who would rather hilariously show us how to obtain food. In doing so, they came across everyone's favorite denizens to be taken advantage of, like Okita and Toshiro. Their jokes were alright, but the best of the bunch were definitely Tai and Kyubei, off to fix her TV with a comically sized piece of ham. Yeah, another one of those random XD comedy moments, but thankfully it was followed by a far better joke where Kyubei soon after leaving came back and stole some of Tai's dark matter to eat for herself. She is so in love and it hurts to watch. But in any case, that mission failed, so Hoichi finally unveiled his ace in the hole during times of disparity, a building this white cat knows all too well, the Otose snack house. After mooching some food off of Otose, they were off to the playground for a good night's rest. But after a full day, some things just didn't sit right with our main character. As opposed to Katsura and Kondo's strangely lackadaisical and adaptive mindset, if it's any characters with this mindset going for them, Katsura and Kondo have got to be the perfect choice. They're so weirdly okay with this, it forced Gin to play straight man. With no clear way out established, that night the dread of this being irreversible began to set in for Gintoki, especially with Hoichi by his side, another cat-turned-human who'd been in this state for over 13 years. Thoughts of what Kagura and Shinpachi are doing began to cloud his mind as he gazed at the moonlight before Hoichi spoke up. I do love how Sorachi took the existential dread aspect of potentially not being able to return to his fellow oddjobbers and treated it seriously. Not just a gag where he's comically screaming about losing them, but a quiet, meditative change of pace filled with real emotion. Of course, that bombastic Gintama humor does happen shortly following it. I dare say it even happens too fast, but I'm happy they treated that moment with the emotion it deserved. To lighten the mood, Gin began pushing Hoichi's buttons, and the two then started bickering back and forth. Something I'd wager Hoichi'd not done jokingly in far too long. In fact, I'd even go so far as to say Gintoki was Hoichi's first real friend in 13 years, maybe even longer. You gotta wonder if anyone he'd met as a Yakuza would even come close to that definition. Besides the kitten, of course. Naturally, the man who'd long abandoned any form of friendship in the stead of his kingly moniker finally was broken in by Gin, as they usually are. Gin's got a special power to make anyone his buddy, even if both parties don't want to admit it. And man, that backstory Sorachi cooked up for the boss cat was so gut-wrenchingly emotional. There's just something about a hardened killer softening up around cute animals that makes me so teary-eyed. Bonus tears if that animal's dead death drives that character's development forward, or even down a righteous yet disillusioned path. Meanwhile, Katsuo's back, and I'm so glad his preferred animal companion in dogs came out, with him constantly complaining about cats the entire time. I love that continuity with the mother arc. He and the Gutter Rat gang are back for a job of selling these consecrated beings to the king of planet Catnip, with the purpose of extracting 7 cat balls to present to Master Shenlong to produce the aphrodisiac Catnip Omega, and how else to do that but pit them against a lion to produce fear, with their fear side effect producing their seed's highest potency.
Wait, what?
Welcome to Gintama.
Is it like this, like, all the time?
Yes, man. That's what I've been trying to tell you.
Holy shit, man. Dude, I gotta get on this.
Yeah. Well,
I'm going, man. I can't stay here. I'm gonna be
Wait.
spoiled. You're an asshole. You were trying to make me get spoiled on this show.
Are you
I'm
leaving?
gonna go. I'll see you later.
What? You were supposed to stay for the video. What? Oh, wait, I forgot to tell him to skip the first 2 episodes! In any case, later on, Hoichi saved the cats who just betrayed the boss only hours ago, and his hidden benevolence finally shone through to the lost strays. And at this moment, the parallels between Hoichi and Gin started to become a lot more obvious. Them butting in where they're not wanted to save what people hold dear while risking their own lives to atone for something they'd done in their past. Keeping nothing for themselves, purposely casting away anyone who tries to get close to them. For what? That's a question Otose can't answer, but she can theorize. At a certain point, there came a time Gin could no longer reject everyone's kindness any longer. What he had been atoning for in the first place could no more be seen anywhere on his person, as much as his outward persona would convince you to believe. You know, Hoichi's like a Gintoki before Gintoki met Kagura and Shinpachi, yet after he met Otose. You could easily say the kitten who gave his life was his version of Otose, who pulled him out of the darkness and gave him a second chance, whereas Gintoki was his oddjobs, who showed him how to actually enjoy that second chance. That classic Gintama payoff and reward for watching the entirety of the show helped this particular segment hit so much harder. Gintama is amazing at building these emotional stages up and up and up until something like a simple scene of a middle-aged woman talking to a cat makes you bawl like a baby. Heck, dude, I was even getting emotional writing the script. It is easy to see how Gintoki and Hoichi can get back on their feet so consistently with this benevolent old hag as their emotional mentor and guide. In short, they're light in the darkness. This story wouldn't have even begun without Otose. But even through this inspiring memory, Hoichi began doubting himself once more, doubting that he ever made a single friend, doubting that his promise to his pal to protect these lives would come true, doubting his worth as a boss cat, proclaiming himself a failure as he resigned his life. But that's of course when his pal did burst in. Gintoki slammed the beast down, putting all Hoichi's would-be final thoughts to rest. Hoichi's face again here made me tear up and cry my eyes out. The anime staff did an amazing job with all the unique cat expressions in this one, as usual. After that had been started, the rest of the strays inspired by Hoichi and Gin's valiant bond defeated the beast together. Upon that being accomplished, Gintoki and Katsura's cat versions blipped out of existence. Whatever deity brought this on acknowledged Gin and Zura had accomplished their goal. Hoichi then finally asked Gin to be his pal, but soon realized Gin's disappearance, who Hoichi was at first crestfallen, but immediately understood what that meant upon his forward gaze showing him a pack full of his newfound buddies having defeated the beast at last. And then this ending scene really topped this arc off perfectly, as we bore witness to the newly discovered and realized joy the strays of Kabukichou bring the people of this town. Gin and Hoichi then cross paths once again in a brilliantly directed scene. They silently acknowledge one another with a piss-stained "thanks, pal," finalizing and cementing their relationship, along with a once-was Yakuza now able to live freely once again. I feel like I've said this a lot recently, but if anything, this is a perfect arc to represent what Gintama can be, and how easily and seamlessly Sorachi can pull that rug out from under you, and multiple times at that. Just when you think you're getting comfy with a zany cast-turned-cat jaunt, boom, existential crisis. Boom, depressing Yakuza backstory. Boom, cat heist. Boom, you're crying. It's such a rapid fire of entertainment that never lets up until you're a half-laughing, half-sobbing mess on the floor. All around, this arc was a superb emotional roller coaster, with the comedy being slightly less favorable than other arcs, but still an absolute hit on all the emotional beats they went for. All in all, I think this is gonna be an 8.5, so that'll be placing it right at number 12. Thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic day, and don't forget to stay trash. Peace.